One of the standouts on the new trailer to Avatar: The Way of Water is this massive RDA vessel, which I have speculated is the Sea Dragon, and although that has not officially been confirmed, in this video I want to point out to a few things as well as compare that to a behind the scenes photo and tell you why this vessel is in fact the Sea Dragon. Avatar Theory here, hope you're doing well and having a fantastic day. And like I've said before, I've speculated that this huge vessel is in fact the Sea Dragon, and looking at some behind the scene photos, it does confirm that, but it also might confirm what eventually happens to the Sea Dragon, so just be wary of some spoilers, or at least some potential spoilers. Now the first and most notable thing looking at this craft from the front, on the top there it says SD1. That is kinda a clear indication that this vessel is called the Sea Dragon, and given the fact that it has a 01 numbered next to the SD maybe gives me the indication that we might see multiple Sea Dragons. Maybe this is the first version of the Sea Dragon, or maybe this is like the concept version of the Sea Dragon and there might be a bigger one at a later stage, but SD1 kinda hints that this is in fact the Sea Dragon. Now if I look at the official Avatar Twitter account back in 2019, yes, on November the 29th, 2019, they tweeted the following, quote, "That's a wrap, Navi Nation. It's our last day of live action filming in 2019 and we're celebrating with a sneak peek. Check out this photo of the aft well deck section of the Sea Dragon, a massive mothership that carries an array of other seagoing craft in the sequels," end quote. And they showed this photo of basically a vessel in water while on set, but it's supposed to be in water with a lot of metal areas that's yellow, and you see a lot of crew and you see the blue screen at the back. But what's important about this tweet specifically is that they state that this is a deck section of the Sea Dragon. They confirm that this photo, this set, is from the Sea Dragon. And going back and forth to the trailer, to the new trailer and the set photo, there was actually quite a bit to uncover that I don't believe anybody has mentioned yet. Now what I want to point out is that if you look at the scene where the Sea Dragon is about to open, right there in the middle of the back, if you zoom in quite a lot, you will see some sort of vessel, some sort of craft, and if you compare that to the behind the scenes photo, the ship that's in the behind the scenes photo, you can actually see that the shape of this boat in the front is the exact same shape as that vessel or that front part of the vessel that we're seeing in the Sea Dragon on the trailer. Even if you look at the lines on the side, if you look at the way it's shaped at the top, at the bottom, everything looks exactly the same as this vessel in the behind the scenes photo. And you can even see there at the center is an area where this harpoon is supposed to be placed. The next thing I want to point out is this pool area, or what is apparently called a moon pool. Now if you look at the Sea Dragon again, you can see this light blue color of water at the very bottom there, or like in the middle bottom there. You can just see it below the red metal platform. You can see this light blue, and again if you compare that to the area of the behind the scenes photo, you can see that it really matches up with that area. Even the lights within the behind the scenes photo matches the color of the water. You can see the three lights there, the long strobe light and then there's two small ones. The color matches exactly that kind of blue that the water is supposed to be in that moon pool, again indicating that this is the Sea Dragon. Not only that, but if you look a little bit above that in the corner, you can see that there's a yellow bar, like a yellow railing bending around, like almost making like a U shape in a way, and you can see that it has two lines on it. It has a top line and the bottom line, and again that matches up with the corner of this pool area in the behind the scenes photo. And also not only is it yellow, but the way it's bent forward, it matches up exactly the same way it's behind the scenes photo. Then if you move to the side there, you will see that there is some sort of long, almost like a line, almost like a not a train track, but like a belt line. And you can see that if you look at this image of the Sea Dragon again in the trailer, it has the exact same line. There is no doubt that these two lines are the exact same, because you have the center line, you have the way it's shaped, the way it's the coloring of this line, and also if you look at the behind the scenes photo, you can see that there is some sort of yellow card with of course a blue harpoon that is of course used for visual effects references. But if you look at that yellow card, there's also like a yellow card on the Sea Dragon itself, matching up exactly with the behind the scenes photo. Now if you move a little bit up in the photo, you can see that there is some sort of area that has a yellow line on the outside, and you can see the way it's curved is exactly the same way it's curved on on the set photo, you can see there on the side and how it goes inward, how it's almost like forms a pointing arrow in a way, but not more like a rounded arrow. You can see that the sides are exactly the same as the set, and even next to it where this boat that I spoke about earlier is located, you can even see the edges is coming inwards exactly the same. And going back to that rail line, you can also see that it makes like a left turn at the top there in front of this arrow-like shape. Another detail I noticed, which is a very minor one, is that the people or the crew on the behind the sets photo seems to be wearing the exact same outfit as the people running on top of the Sea Dragon. From their pants, their shirt, everything looks exactly the same. And although this might just be a generic RDA soldier, it's interesting that their outfits match up one for one. Now, I have already pointed out in a previous video on what I think will happen with the Sea Dragon at the end, based on this image of Lo'ak that we saw in the teaser trailer, and then right at the back we saw two big propellers, which matches up with that of the Sea Dragon, and we see a lot of fire there, and we see the vessel or whatever's in the background is kind of in the water, kind of like half submerged in the water, kind of sinking there, which gives me the indication that the Sea Dragon will likely be destroyed and will be like half under the water. But looking at this behind the scenes photo of the two soldiers shooting up in the air, I noticed another thing that I didn't spot before. And first thing to notice, if you look at these two soldiers, you can see that the ground they're on are not even. It's like almost like it's sinking, like it's almost like it kind of reminds you of the Titanic in a way, but it's like you can see that it's uneven, that the back part is falling down, or in this case underwater. And comparing this image to the front of the Sea Dragon, you can see that this red metal pipe or this red metal structure is the structure in the front of the Sea Dragon. You can even see that the yellow pipes there matches that of the front of the Sea Dragon, and you can even see next to it is that other pipes which is also red. You can see this on the Sea Dragon, you have those yellow pipes and then you have those red ones around them. And if you even look at that image, compare that to the image where Metkayina jumps on what I said is the Sea Dragon, you can see there at the top corner that area matches up exactly with this red metal structure that the soldiers are standing by. There was one more image that I found from behind the scenes, and this is this one here from Cameron standing in the water with this red metal pipe sticking out. You can clearly see that everything on the left of this photo is underwater, and comparing that to the scene where the soldiers are basically shooting, you can see that again this structure matches the one where Cameron is filming. You can see the coloring, the rust, everything matches exactly the same. Now of course the area where the soldiers are standing on the one photo is not underwater yet. That's why this red pipe, this red structure, this crane essentially is looking much bigger in the one photo, and compared to the other photo where you can see a lot of it is underwater. You can see that one person is even like most of his body is underwater, so most of that red structure is underwater, but you can see some of the red structure, some of the red piping and the yellow piping is also sticking out there on the one photo, again matching up with the picture of the soldiers, and the picture of the soldiers matches up with that image of Metkayina. So of course, putting all of this together, you can clearly see that, you know, the Sea Dragon does get damaged, does eventually get destroyed, it does sink in the water. And putting all of this together with the behind the scenes photos that I was talking about earlier that the Avatar Twitter account was posting, where they say that this is a behind the scenes photo of the Sea Dragon, that confirms that this image, that this vessel is in fact the Sea Dragon in Avatar The Way of Water. Now again, getting back to my very first point where I was saying that it's called SD1, does imply to me that there are multiple Sea Dragons, that there's maybe 2, 3, 4 out there, or maybe even SD1 is, like I said, a prototype Sea Dragon, and we might get a ultimate, like a bigger Sea Dragon or a bigger some sort of sea vessel later on. But without a doubt, the vessel that you see in the trailer of Avatar The Way of Water is the Sea Dragon from the RDA, and is the one we're gonna see in the movie, and that is the one that Metkayina jumps on in that one scene in the trailer. But looking at all of these photos, is there something specific that I missed? Let me know in the comments below, and for more Avatar content, have a look at the rest of my channel. Until next time, have a fantastic day and stay safe.